Stay here. Sometimes simple things. They are simple. Simple knowledge, understanding, and practices. That's matter in life. Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Please let me know where you're watching from. Thank you. It's a very good morning from this side. Hello, everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. Can you hear me? Please confirm that you can hear me. Welcome to the live. Hello, welcome to the live. Where are you watching from? Remember to like. Sometimes people are actually looking for that complex thing, looking for a way to handle matters, especially relating to health. Somebody somewhere is asking, what can I do to live a healthy life? What can I do to have experiences different from the experiences I've had in the past, or current experience? And it takes a lot of effort to try to seek information. And many people do not know that some of the things that really make the difference are simple, and they are not things too far. They are not things to be looking for in the market or in the zoo or in the desert. So you need to understand that some of these things are readily available to you. So welcome to the live. Let me know where you're watching from. Sometimes I have patients who are asking, doctor, what can I do? Doctor, what do you think I can do to deal with this high blood pressure, to deal with this challenge or challenges with sleep? Okay. Many times some people are actually looking for medications, something to take to help. And that's why, we talk about the use of supplements. People are looking for what to take, something to put in to help to give them the kind of experience that they want. Okay, so let me know where you're watching from, and I'll be glad to welcome you specially. And let's get into the conversation. The things that really matter sometimes are very simple. It requires receiving information, simple information, and then understanding of what needs to be done, and then the application of the things that you have come to know. Okay, many people know things, but not many people actually practice or do the things that are needful to stay healthy. Okay, and for those who know, maybe half of people practice, and then maybe a few more are actually consistent. Others just do things as they come, or do things as they go. Okay, so what are these simple things, knowledge that you have or you need to have to understand and then to put into practice? My last video, latest video on the channel, has to do with the lifestyle of people who live long. You know, it doesn't matter what you are doing currently, who you are. There's something about the human life, and it's just about time and season. There was a time that you were not here. There was a time that you came in, and each and every one of us, we have a time that we have to move. Talking about growing from the womb, and then becoming a child, growing to adulthood, and then going to old age, and then there is the other end of life. So understanding this means that we should try to do what is needful to maximize each season of our lives. So it doesn't matter the season you are in. One important thing is that, are you maximizing that season? What are you doing to maximize your life? The life that you have is a gift, but you need to understand that you are a caretaker, you are responsible for your life, and that needs some level of commitment from your part. It's always good to talk about God, God's provisions, God's gifts, God's protection, God's wisdom. God has made many things available to us. He has made himself known to us. Okay, but how do we relate with the things that we know? How do we actually position ourselves to enjoy what God has provided for us? The life that you have is a gift, and you must see it as such. The next person around you, doesn't matter what stage you are, a father, a mother, a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, an uncle, aunt. You have relationships around you. So you must see that the next person around you is a gift. It's the gift of God to you. Okay, but I usually emphasize this, that there's no one that can actually appreciate another. There's no one that can love or care for another as much if they do not know how to enjoy life themselves. Okay, as an individual, you must understand that your life is as important as the next person to you. All right, so you must treasure your life. You must appreciate that life that you have, and you must celebrate yourself. You must be visionary. You must be progressive. You must be thinking of the best about yourself. And that's very important for your mental health. In fact, it's a spiritual way to do. God wants you to think well about yourself. It doesn't, irrespective of the challenges, irrespective of the level of health that you are enjoying presently, God wants you and I to maximize, to be grateful, to enjoy His provisions for us. His provision of health, of the life that you have. There's a part of the scripture that talks about, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So there's the prosperity of the soul of a man. Now, people focus on the body. It's very good. We need to be strong. We need to be healthy. We need to be physically fit, and there's nothing wrong about that. Keeping fit. I know people work out, people do different exercises, people try to be in shape. It is very good. So God is interested, He's committed to our physical health. And it says, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So we know that God is a spirit, and you are a spirit. You have a soul, and you live in a body. So God is saying, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So God is an all-rounder. He believes in you to maximize the life that He has given you by enjoying not just physical health, strength, the ability to do things, but the skill, to the gifts that He has given you, for you to use them to do what He has called you to do in life. But He also believes that He knows that you need, of course, power, financial power, prosperity of your soul. It's important to there's this connection between these different aspects of our life. You need to understand that as long as your soul is at peace, your soul is at rest in God, that is how far you can really enjoy life and maximize the life that God has given you. So I don't know what you are experiencing currently. I don't know what challenges you have. I don't know what state of health you are, but I know God is committed. God is willing to even do much more than you could ever ask or think. All right. So, what are you asking God to do for you? Okay, God is saying, I've made many things available, but what are you doing? So, talking about simple knowledge, this simple knowledge, this simple communication, and the few minutes that I've communicated, you know, will go a long way to help somebody to just relate appropriately. Okay, but you need to understand there's the knowledge aspect where you have information, but there is also the understanding. That's where wisdom, application, how to apply this thing now comes in. Some people don't understand things. And there are many things that you don't understand that you may not even need to understand. But when you do them, application of knowledge will go a long way to help you. So let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I know I'm having quite a number of people coming in. Please confirm that I'm audible. Thank you for the like. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining the community. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Please confirm that you can hear me. Okay, so we're talking about the simple things, simple knowledge, the understanding and the practices that actually matter in life. You know, that's simple. Thank you for the like. Please let me know where you are watching from. Let me know who is awake at this time if you are in Africa. You know, it's night in some other places. So let me know so that I can greet you specially. Okay. Thank you for the like. Now, those simple things, like I said earlier, sometimes they look like they are too simple to be applied for effectiveness in life. For example, the need to seek knowledge. And people believe that whatever will happen will happen. Really, not things just don't just happen. Things don't just happen. You know, people make things happen. God has designed things. God makes things happen. But God has put people in life in different places at different times to make things happen. So imagine, for example, if I have some lighting around me, if these lights, bulb, lamps were not created, you know, nobody decided to do anything. So you can imagine living in the dark. You know, thank God for the daylight, the sun. Thank God for the night. So you can imagine what could happen, kind of commotion, accidents that could happen when it's dark. So that simple knowledge, the gift, the ability to apply to getting this design of the lamp or light has done so much in the world. You know, it was just about lighting the environment, but now these days, different kinds of lights, different kind of lightings, different kinds of bulbs, fluorescents that are used in different ways to make life look attractive and beautiful, physically speaking. Okay, so people are looking for that big thing that they need to do to live healthy lives. So that video, if you have not watched it, try to watch it. You know, I highlighted the lifestyle of the people that live long, and I know that's what you want to do. You want to live long, and not just living long, but live healthy. You want to live strong. You want to fulfill the purpose for which God has sent you to the earth. And that is very important. You know, you need your body, you need your vessel to do all that you have to do in career, in calling, in business, in life, in different aspects of life. You need your body. So, how healthy you are will determine how effective you can be in many things. Okay, imagine what it could be like if your doctor is not healthy. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, in different ways. You cannot get the best from that person. So the same way for you, if you are going to be effective in life, if you are going to maximize your life, you're going to be the best of yourself and the best for the people around you, for the people God wants you to be a blessing to. Yeah, you need to pay attention to these simple things. You know, I talked about the Monaco style, where people engage in some of these things I'm going to be sharing. You may need to definitely relate depending on your health condition, depending on, that's a disclaimer now, depending on your doctor's recommendations, depending on your environment, depending on whether you have allergies. You know, these are some of the things that you need to note even as I share this. So, diet is a major aspect of health, you are what you eat. We also say you are what you think. That's still part of health. You cannot be better than your thoughts. That's the fact. Okay, so it is, if you believe that you can, then you can. If you believe that you can't, then you are right, because your energy will be at equilibrium as much as possible, but with the God factor, can be more than that. Will be at equilibrium with your thought pattern, your thought processes, your belief system, your confidence level. These are the things that affect your life. So we're talking about diet. We've heard about the need to reduce oils, fatty, high level of cholesterol intake. So what do? You have fresh fruits, you have vegetables, as simple as that. Some people have this excuse of, oh, things are now expensive, I cannot buy this, I cannot buy that. But the same people, the same set of people still spend money on other things. Sorry, I need to mention this. It may even be makeup, okay? It's good to look good, but it's also very important to eat healthy. So if you say fruits are expensive, so the clothes, the hair, the phone that you buy, the things that you use, other things, are they not expensive? So it boils down to priority. If you see the need to eat healthy, then you will pay attention to that and do the needful. Thank you for the second like. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me know who is liking. Let me know who is watching. And let me know your thoughts about these things. I don't know whether it's the system that is not showing the chat, the comments yet. All right, but if you can hear me and you can, of course, see me, you should please kindly drop a comment. Let me know who it is and then where you're watching from. Thank you so much. Thank you for the third like. Okay, we're talking about the simple things, simple knowledge, the understanding and practices that matter in life. All right, so I started by talking about the fact that people are looking for the complex things. People are looking for, please remember to also respond to the poll. Okay, I really appreciate that. People are looking for, have patients who are asking, after telling them those simple things that needs to be done, they are looking for the big things, the complex approach to handling the health matter that they have. It just be a lifestyle change or some lifestyle changes that will go along with to help to change the health status of an individual. Okay, so generally, we should be eating healthy. We know that you should eat fruits and vegetables, but how many times in a week do you actually do that? A fruit a day is important. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. All right. So that's a saying, but the reality is that if you do so, you are giving yourself vitamins, vitamin C. You are making fibers available for your gut, and that is helpful. All these are helpful. It helps to move helps to also move uh, part of digested food out of your system. So we're talking about vitamins, talking about different the fibers. You're talking about even the water content. The bulk, the ability to help to move your bowel. Some people don't even know that exercising is also helpful in bowel movement. I don't know if you exercise and you really engage in some exercises, you find out even walking can help you to avoid or prevent constipation. Okay, so but if you that's why you find out that some people in the hospital, if someone is on admission in the hospital, and they're on the bed, that's why sometimes, even if they never had constipation before, but the fact that they are not moving, they're on the bed, they are probably eating just about the same, or have reduced appetite, such an individual may not use the toilet, because I'm talking about defecating, because there is no movement. As you are moving on the outside, things are also moving on the inside. And the more you do that, the better. So when you rest, things may be moving, but not at the pace relating to when you are more active. So vegetables are very important. A lot of vitamins, minerals. You have um, the need to also do portion control. As an adult, you shouldn't be eating late. I mean, it really is something that we need to pay attention to. There's a way you feel when you eat earlier than 7 p.m. I don't know if you have experienced that before. There's a difference between when you eat at 7 p.m. or earlier than that, and if you decide to eat at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or dinner. All right. So this is simple, but not many people are practicing this. And for those that do, they're able to talk about the experience, the advantage of doing so. You wake up feeling healthy, you wake up feeling strong, you wake up feeling light, you're not heavy. You are even able to you're able to process information better in your head, because you're not too full. Your 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 tummy is not asking for more blood supply to process for digestion. So your brain is able to work better that way. So say avoid processed foods, right? Fries, the fast foods, okay, all those things I'm talking about, with a lot of salts, oils. These are things that, of course, occasionally, but if you have recommendations from your doctor, you should to avoid taking this, then you should avoid as much as possible. All right. So, moving to the next point, being active, as simple as it is. People talk about counting steps, talking about, okay, counted 5,000, 7,000 steps. No matter how small, you may not be able to do 15,000, 10,000 steps, but if you can be active, it's not just about exercising. Walking, brisk walking will help you a great deal. In Monaco, they actually learn to walk by the seaside. They enjoy sailing, outdoor exercises. There are indoor exercises that you can do. Interestingly, I have a video on the channel that talks about chair exercises that you can do with your chair. Yes, your chair where you sit. So there are different positions that you can take and different things that you can do to help you to keep fit physically, physical fitness. Well, so you should make walking, exercising a part of your daily life. Okay, there are times that you just have to park your car. If you drive every day, park somewhere, and then do some walking, do some movements. That way you'll be exercising your heart. I don't know if you can hear me. You'll be exercising your heart. Your heart will be pumping better. Your heart will supply other organs in your body. It will help to exercise your muscles, your bones, your joints. That way you avoid joint stiffness. You increase the tone, you increase the bulk of your muscles. You're able to also burn some fat. Exercise has been found to be helpful in reduction of cholesterol. Okay, so you should, it's as simple as it is. Engage in walking. We have that uh, opportunity to really live a sedentary life. And if you are going to be living a healthy life, you have to be intentional about your activity. You need to be emotion. You need to be in motion. You don't need the gym, so to say. If you can afford the gym, if you can be committed and disciplined enough to enjoy what you pay for. I mean, some people pay for gym sessions, but they don't have time to go. So you need to be sure that you are maximizing your opportunities. Okay, there are things that you can do during the week, personally for yourself, indoor, outdoor, in your community. There are other things that you may need some supervision for. And if you are going to be engaging in any form of exercise, you should definitely speak with your doctor. Interestingly, there's something called exercise prescription. There are ways that your doctor can help you in terms of the frequency of the exercise that you need, the intensity of the exercise. Exercises have different intensities, walking, swimming, jogging, running, there are different forms of exercises. And apart from that, the timing, how often you should do it. And you need to put in consideration your health status, and your doctor will help you to do that. Next point is the need to avoid or reduce stress as much as possible. And that's one now. I don't know who you are watching. You may be very busy executive, and it's always good to get busy in life, be productive. It's good to do business. It's good to do career. It's good to do whatever it is that you do. But you must be sure and you must understand that you are only going to be productive as long as you are healthy. So, stress is normal body's reaction, response to any trigger. You know, we all experience stress, may just be in different ways, through different triggers, and then for different duration. All right, but that's one thing that is common. But the way we handle stress goes a long way for each and everyone to determine how healthy or how effective you can be in life. So, how do you cope with stress? And people are able to handle stress, whether emotional, whether physical, financial, career, academic, relationships, different forms of stress, different ways or means by which people can experience stress. But as long as you can cope, you can handle it, you can deal with it, then you can also find yourself to enjoy your life better. So, what are the coping strategies that you have? How do you find a way to, excuse me, how do you find a way to relax? Issue of stress and management. You must learn and identify your coping strategies and apply them appropriately. Okay, so you must try to live a stress-free life. Okay, I'm laughing because I'm asking how possible is it to avoid stress? Yes, there are some things that you can do. I mean, to avoid stress, prioritizing, knowing what is important, what is urgent, doing the needful communicating with people when necessary, and how much of that you should do with who. Then, how do you find time to relax? How do you, because people work a lot, but how many people really do intentional relaxation. Rather, some people are forced to relax maybe by taking a sick leave, you know, that way you're already being forced to relax. So there's a way we can actually balance life in such a way that when you're working, talk about work-life balance, your work should be seen as work and should be done, but your time for self, for relaxation, for self-care should not be eaten into, should not be taken for granted. So, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Can you swim? Do you know how to ride a bicycle? Just identify, is it table tennis, lawn tennis? Is it chatting with friends and family? Is it watching a movie? Just identify something you can do to help you to relax. So we go to social connections. People nowadays are more connected to their phones. Okay. Most of us, on the average, we spend more than one third of 24 hours when it comes to relating with our phones. So, have you replaced your phone? Have you replaced somebody in your life with the phone that you have now? Have you replaced relationships with the phone? Of course, there are people that you communicate with using your phone, but we should be finding time to have this direct, face to face conversations, communication, friendships. Are friendships still existing? Our friends now turn to distance acquaintances when the social media now has taken over. So you need to understand family ties, you need to understand friendships, you need to understand uh, the importance of your community, engaging with your community as part of your health. As a family physician, do not just talk about the medical condition, disease, whatever it is, but also look at the influence of your family, your friends, your community, the nation on your health. So you need to understand that it's important for mental health and longevity. You need to understand that being socially connected, is important for health, for longevity. And interestingly, it has also been important for wealth. Sometimes people are competing at a distance, but when you connect face to face, physically, sometimes you find out ideas, you find out business opportunities that you can do. And these are things that may change people's life, uh, somebody's life, because some of the health problems, some of them are mentally related, some are physical. Okay, but if you can handle your social connections very well, if you can relate well, then if you have the right people around you, then you are sure to also maximize that side of you and live a healthy life. Some people are now engaged in alcohol intake or smoking, cigarettes, some other things, because they have friends around them who are into these things. So if you're going to be different, if you want a particular way of life, if you want to enjoy your health, then you should understand it's so simple that your relationships matter. And who are your friends? Show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. Now, Barry walking exercise for your health. Wonderful friends there. Welcome, Mr. Barry. Barry walking exercise for your health. Forced to comment. Thank you so much. I can see your message. Say blessings, doctor. I'm here. Thumbs up, done. Stay blessed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. Thank you. And it's 4:47 a.m. here. I don't know what time it is there in the United States. Your location, specifically where are you watching from? Thank you so much. I'm very excited about what you are doing with your wife and the community around you. So I want to say keep it up, and I'm sure there are many lives that will be influenced positively by what you do. Okay, just like you have been encouraging others to get active, to be moving. God has not created us to be stationed, to be there, just there. But He has created us to be moving beings. And we must be seen moving. Sedentary lifestyle is the new smoking. And the risks associated with smoking, risk of cancer, and so many risks associated with being sedentary, overweight, being obese, and these are independent risk factors for cardiovascular diseases. Interestingly, cardiovascular diseases are the leading cause of mortality, that's death all over the world, no matter the city you are talking about. And the hypertension is has a major percentage when it comes to cardiovascular diseases. So we should be paying attention to our physical activity. It's been found out that some millimeters of mercury of blood pressure, whether it's systolic or diastolic, can be reduced, can be cut off when an individual exercises. So that has been proven. It also helps in lowering cholesterol. So why won't you want to exercise? I like the way Mr. Barry says it. We are blessed. Yes, we are blessed. We are blessed here. We are blessed to have Mr. Barry and Madam Barry on this platform. They encourage others to walk, to exercise for health. All right, so I'm really glad to have you joining this live. Thank you so much, Mr. Barry, in Orlando, Florida, and it's 11:48 p.m. Wow. So it's really night, and I appreciate the fact that you're able to join in. Thank you for the fourth like. Thank you for the fifth like. If you are here, let's know who else is with us. All right. So we've been talking about the simple things that we need to know, understand, that we need to apply for to our lives for us to be more effective in what we do. We talk about the aspect of diet. I talk about the need to be physically active, whether indoor or outdoor, and the need to reduce or be able to cope with stress and to enjoy leisure. And we talked about the need to have strong social connections. And I was talking before you came in, talking about how people have replaced people in their lives with phone, the social media. All right. And we need to be careful that even though we can communicate with our friends, family on the phone, of course, that's a tool, but we must still value physical, face to face communication, and that will go a long way. So, and I was saying that some people have actually they've had their lives influenced from social connections, whether for business, for advancement in career, for major projects in life. There are some others who have also been influenced negatively into smoking alcohol, drinking alcohol, and then smoking cigarettes. All right. So these decisions will go a long way. It's as important as your diet and exercise. Talking about your social connection is as important as your diet and your exercising. So how do you value your relationships? Next one is the need to, of course, avoid alcohol. The need to Alcohol has no benefits really on your body. Rather, excuse me, it can actually hurt you more. Can affect the liver, can affect the kidneys, having negative impact on those organs. Now we should understand that there are options. If you are not taking alcohol, so what should you be taking? Of course, water is there for everyone. And for an adult, for the male especially, you can take about 3 liters of water in a day. For the female, 2.5, 2.7 liters. Good. So it also depends on the environment, depends on the weather conditions and the work, the impact of what you are doing per time. So you should also consider your environment. It's good to have clean environment. Hygiene is critical if you are going to avoid infections around you or even for yourself. You need to be intentional cleaning your environment as much as possible. Finally, let's look at your your community, the nation you are in. You just need to understand that there's that peculiarity. Some parts of the world are of great advantage when it comes to the system that they have working for them. For example, the health insurance schemes available more and being maximized in certain regions. All right. On other places, people pay out of pocket and they pay a lot. Some people cannot afford healthcare services, whether in terms of seeking a doctor's consultation or even doing necessary tests or investigations relating to their health. But you have to be intentional. You have to do the regular checkups. You need to, excuse me, you need to be proactive. You need to be more preventative than curative. You know, prevention is better than cure, and it's even cheaper than cure. I've always used the example of an individual who is being managed for hypertension and taking medications regularly, consistently helps to control the blood pressure. But if that individual decides to skip his or her medication for a day or two, okay, nobody can actually predict. The blood pressure could rise to an extent or may not even rise so high, but the individual can develop a stroke. And when the individual has a stroke and presents to the hospital, there are certain tests that must be done. For example, a brain CT scan, and which is not cheap. Other tests will be requested for, and it's not because your doctor wants you to spend, but because those tests are important in management of stroke. So if you are now being asked to do that, even it may even be heart failure, it's going to cost more compared to just buying or taking your regular medications. So prevention is very important. So if you are in an environment or a community or nation where you have great facilities, healthcare facilities, hospitals, you have doctors readily available, and you should maximize that. Okay, you should not make make it like you are not appreciative of what you've got. It's just a great privilege. So you must also not must be presenting to the hospital for regular checkup. As I said, you should also take steps if you notice any symptom. You should not wait till things degenerate before you take steps, before you move to see your doctor for proper evaluation. So these are simple things to be done when it comes to maximizing life, when it comes to enjoying your health. So simple, are they not? You know, eat fruits, vegetables, avoid processed foods, move daily, reduce stress, enjoy your social connections, be be proactive about your health. You know, these small choices, daily choices, simple knowledge. Are they not simple? The simple knowledge and understanding, and then practicing, doing the needful is what will give results. You know, is what will yield the results. So, what are you going to be doing differently now? Okay, you need to make a decision that you won't just hear or know or talk about the need to eat healthy, but you will be intentional about it. Taking fruits, vegetables, drinking water, you know, moving, and I'm sure that you're going to get the best outcomes from doing this needful by God's grace. So I believe somebody has learned some things from this sharing, very simple information. Let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you're watching this after the live. Let me know the things that you have learned from this sharing, and what your experience is like, what you intend, what you are doing currently, and what you intend to do. You know, what are your goals? What you intend to do after this? All right. Yeah. Okay, you can let me know if you have any question. Hope you can still hear me clearly. Let me know if you have any question, or you want to make a comment relating to some of the things that I've talked about. Yeah, I see. Right. Okay, so if you are yet to watch that video on Monaco's secrets, the secret to a healthy and longer life, kindly watch and learn those simple habits that have made them to be rated and to have those experiences of strong health and long life. So, thank you for watching and joining this session. Watch out for the next video. I'm sure you will find it informative. So, we're rounding up this particular session. So now it's 1 hour. I think take a break now and see you later. Bye for now.